In Zimbabwe, and more condemnation following the bombing at the weekend targeting President Emmerson Mnangagwa. South Africa's ruling ANC has called the blast barbaric. President Mnangagwa was not harmed in the attack, but at least 49 people were wounded, including several officials. Access to the White City Stadium in Bulawayo remains restricted as experts comb through the bomb site. Zimbabwe is heading to elections at the end of July. The opposition MDCT is calling on security forces in the country to ensure people's safety.
Violence normally scares people. It instills fear in people's minds. So whoever would want to organize a rally, definitely people would not come because of what happened. For instance, as a party, we intended to do our campaign, our star rally on the 14th of this month at the same venue. And looking at what has happened right now, I don't think that there's anyone who is prepared to come to the rally, because right now already our members are phoning to say, are we going to be safe? We are now scared of our lives. Look at what happened yesterday. And at the moment, no one has the actual information of what exactly transpired. What government needs to do right now is to make sure that they put measures in place, security measures first and foremost, so that every Zimbabwean feels secure and free.
Well, let's get to the very latest from Zimbabwe now. I'm joined live from Bulawayo by CGTN's Farai Mokutoya. Farai, just give us the latest on the investigation into this blast. We, of course, know that access to the bomb site has been restricted, but what more information have police released?
Well, Lindy, the police has put up what it calls a significant reward, a substantial reward for anyone who can come forward with information that will help with their investigation. That appeal to the public was made during a press conference that was held this afternoon, where the police appealed to anyone to come forward and assist with those investigations. As you quite rightly said, access to the White City Stadium was restricted. We were eventually granted access at the end of the day to find those forensics and bomb experts who were combing through the debris, combing through that venue to try and piece together evidence and try to find out what actually transpired and get some pointers in terms of this investigation. So we expect that, the outcome of those investigations and, the work that they were doing throughout the day to day, it was literally the whole day, the outcome of that and the information from that we expect to be relayed very quickly. The police has said that it will provide updates given the fact that, people are anxious, people want to know what's happened and just to, to get answers and to feel safe and secure once again. And so we expect updates from the police in due course. But I can tell you that so far a reward has been put up for anyone who can assist and provide information.
And indeed, no surprise, as you say, that people are anxious. I mean, of course, Zimbabwe hasn't seen a political attack of this nature since the 1980s. Just how have Zimbabweans in Bulawayo been reacting to this incident?
Well, I think the reaction for many people here is, there are mixed reactions. First, I think many people are very surprised, as you quite rightly said. This sort of thing, a bomb blast or a bomb attack is not something, it's very unprecedented in Zimbabwe, and certainly in terms of the political landscape. And so people just trying to understand, what could be behind this, who could be behind this. But I think what's also surprised people is the fact that, this sort of attack could happen at a venue and at a rally that was addressed and targeting the head of state. One would have expected that with the level of security that he has, this sort of breach or this sort of attack would not have happened. I think, people are also fearful and anxious because this campaign period has been characterized by a lot of freedom of expression, freedom of movement, freedom of assembly. It's been largely peaceful and without incident. And the fact that we're starting to see this and in a manner that hasn't been seen here before has people very anxious and fearful. And I think the calls from many people we've spoken to, political players, but also ordinary citizens, is that they would like to see the security situation beefed up for all parties across the political divide, so that we don't have a similar occurrence and that there isn't any further loss of lives. People want to see more security so they can have the freedom to be able to attend rallies if they would like to, and to be able to go and cast their ballots without any fear or intimidation, Lindy.
Indeed, and of course those elections due for the end of July. Thanks very much, Farai Mokutoya, joining us there live from Bulawayo.